I understand when you're trying to put together a season and there's a lot of pressure on the line as you're putting together the season. You might want to just do it in private. You don't have to have cameras around. You don't have to feel like somebody is going to be on, in quotes, when you don't need them to be on. You need to have them on it. You need to be on the stick. You need to be in the playbook. They don't need to be on to try and create a name for themselves or a brand at the expense of being all in. That's the general sense about not wanting Hard Knocks and why the NFL has created a construct that if you haven't been on it for a while and you haven't been in the playoffs for a while, as they say, back in the day, in my summer camp days, tough noogies. Another way to put it is it's being forced down your throat. This was Aaron Rodgers yesterday in Lake Tahoe. I believe the practice round, right? In Lake Tahoe?
Yeah,
he's out there, I believe, with McAfee and AJ Hawk today.
Correct.
Right?
They're playing in the threesome today.
There you go. But yesterday in the practice round, Aaron Rodgers was approached by Vern Glenn of KPIX in San Francisco. Hit it.
You see that camera? You're going to see a lot of them now. Hard Knocks is coming. Your thoughts?
Listen, one of the only things I like about Hard Knocks is the voice of God who narrates it.
Right.
Liv, I hope I get to meet him. But look, I understand the appeal with us. Obviously, there's a lot of eyes on me, a lot of eyes on our team, a lot of expectations for our squad. So they forced it down our throats, and we got to deal with it.
I love it. I love it. Here's the two things I take from that. First of all, and Aaron probably knows this too. I'm sure Liev Schreiber, the longtime voice of Hard Knocks, a terrific actor in his own right. What was he in Showtime? What was the name of that show?
Ray Donovan.
Yeah, Ray Donovan. That's right.
Yeah, I loved it.
I'm sure, Mike, how nice is his at-home setup, do you think, to voice over Hard Knocks, where he gets the script emailed to him in a PDF. He'll print it out or however he wants to do it. Maybe he does it off his phone. I don't know. But the last thing he's going to do is go walk into Florham Park and they've got a microphone there for him in the middle of the...
It depends on where he stays.
Although
and lives,
Liev
right?
might want to meet Rodgers. I don't know.
I could see him.
Who knows? But that's not happening.
I think the strike might affect whether Liev appears.
I don't know.
Actually.
I don't know.
Never even thought about that.
We'll see.
Can I voice Hard Knocks?
What are you cross the line,
Crossing
Mike?
the picket line. Mike, you're a union
That's
man.
right. I'm in the union. I can't do it. That's right.
Long story short, now that would be a hard knock.
Hey, now.
Long story short, though, he understands why the Jets are on Hard Knocks. It's because of him. If it's Zach Wilson, they're like, okay, let's see what Sam Howell's up to in Washington, D.C.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, Justin, the Bears would have absolutely been your Hard Knocks team if the Jets ran it back with Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So Rodgers knows everybody's trying to poke around him, and he knows the Jets will have his back. Literally, they're bending over backwards right now, and appropriately so. Every egg has been placed in the number 8 basket. And if he wants to take the us against them approach, us against the world mentality, win the games, and you could take whatever mentality you want.
Yeah.
And I am sure if Rodgers doesn't want the camera here or camera there, they don't need the Jets to tell them not to do it. NFL Films will just back off. They want Rodgers mic'd up for games. They want Rodgers as happy as anybody else in the Jets organization. And HBO knows what type of show they're buying, and they may push back. But at the end of the day, they wanted, I'm sure, years ago, Antonio Brown behind the scenes of him going absolutely nutty when things started to completely unravel with the Raiders, and that never made air. Do you remember how we were all...
We had to see that on Antonio Brown's own YouTube page.
Correct.
So I would question how much we actually see Rodgers on Hard Knocks.
And meanwhile, Netflix made a deal with Peyton Manning's Omaha Productions and Patrick Mahomes' production company, and then got, I'm sure, together and basically said, hey, we want to do this with your production companies, but we want everything. We want you being yourselves. And they were like, we got it. And again, I'm sure there's some final cut, but if you're Mahomes and it's Peyton Manning and Eli Manning saying, we want to do this, and your production company can get a huge leg up on the business by putting this out there on Netflix, and Mahomes is like, sure, put out there me calling Max Crosby an MF-er 5 times in a row with Andy Reid having to restrain me, or the moment where he was told by Reid, go get your ankle X-rayed before halftime against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and him dropping a major F-bomb. And then his wife's upstairs in the box saying he's not angry at the coaches. He's just angry that he's hurt. That's exactly the behind-the-scenes stuff we as fans crave and want to get out of Hard Knocks, and sometimes we don't. It's just the straight stuff. I understand teams don't want it. They feel like we'd rather not have it, like if we have to choose it. And if Rodgers wants to take the us against the world mentality, you go, Aaron Rodgers. You go. Because I am sure there may be one moment or two, right, where Rodgers is like, I'm uncomfortable with this. Do you think the NFL Films is going to be like tough noogies, Aaron? We're rolling? Of course not. Of course not. So I'm excited to see it. Again, I wanted to see Quinnen Williams in uniform because I was concerned he was holding out. He is not. I can't wait for that. So we'll talk about what that means for the Jets going into this season and in the locker room where they're like, okay, we ball out, we get paid, we stay. And if you don't ball out, we go ahead and get a future GOAT to take your spot. I mean, that's the way the message has been sent to that locker room, and that's the way you win football games and you win a friggin' Super Bowl before I die. And I'm a 54-year-old man. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.